Good morning, everybody, and thank you for attending my presentation today. My name is William Allen, and today I'm here to talk to you about meditation and some of the benefits that are associated with meditation. Now, if you're like me, when you hear the term meditation or someone comes up to you and says, I meditate, my mind instantly goes to, okay, this person probably wants milk fed. Two, lights a lot of incense, could possibly dabble in the whole narcotics realm or, other things like that. That's kind of where my mind goes. But I'm here to kind of dispel those affiliations. And then, of course, there's always the ball guys wearing gowns and mumbling things. There's that association too. But my goal here today is to let you guys know some different types of meditation, guided. So I'm going to go through those, and then I'll go through eyelid positions, because there are different techniques for that, and then of course body posture. So here we go. Sorry for that technical glitch. So first up is guided meditation. This is something that I have lots of experience with, and I understand the benefits to it. If you are going to partake in guided meditation and you have someone coaching you through it, I recommend using someone that knows what they're doing and are quite familiar with it. I could potentially see someone who's not familiar possibly leading you in directions you don't necessarily wish to go. I've done some guided meditations to get in touch with my anger, which is really helpful. My therapist and we do that occasionally. It helps with depression, and even I like to read self-help books, and generally if a book I deem worthy to be read more than once, if I want to, I'll read a chapter, and then afterwards I'll meditate on it for about 10 minutes. That usually helps me better grasp what it wants me to get out of it. But it's pretty straightforward, and I've also done a meditation to find your spirit animal, which was really interesting, and I would recommend that. And then also to just kind of focus on your body and your breathing, which honestly breathing is part of any meditation practice. It's really important, and it also acts as a way of grounding you, which is really helpful. Next we have unguided meditation. Now, unguided meditation is personally my favorite. Basically what that is you sit down. I don't typically have an intent necessarily for what I'm setting my meditation for, which means I'm not trying to get in touch with my anger, or I'm not trying to analyze a book or something like that. I just kind of let it go, and I just focus more on my breathing and my surroundings. And again, with guided meditation, keeping yourself grounded is important to do. I personally find it quite helpful when I do this to ice down my knee, because I typically do this when I'm done with my exercising, so my knees are usually a little sore. So I typically ice them down, and that's a really good way to keep yourself grounded. It's a nice pack, but that's also really helpful. This is eyelid positions. Now, when you're meditating, there are 3 eyelid positions. One, obviously, eyes wide open. Now, a lot of people, when they explain that to you, they say, meditate with your eyes open, looking down, but about 5 feet in front of you. Now, I've done that, and I didn't personally feel that it made much of a difference to my process. Personally, when I'm meditating, I like to be completely involved in my meditation, but I'm still able to keep myself grounded. I think this would be a good option for people who maybe have difficulty keeping themselves grounded, because obviously with eyes open, you're going to be more grounded, just because you're going to be able to see everything. Okay, jumped ahead. All right, backtrack one slide. 3/4 closed, eyelid position. To me, it's about the same as eyes wide open, just a little more of a there's eyes closed, which is my preferred one. That way you block out all distractions whatsoever, and you can be fully engaged in what you're doing. And I find that one, for me personally, to be more helpful. Okay, then body positions. Now there are lots of different body positions that people talk about and people associate with meditating. And there are those people that say, oh, you have to meditate in a certain position to align your chakras and things like that. I personally, if that's how they want to meditate, that's cool. Power to them. I'm not going to let anybody dictate how I meditate because I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to be fully aware of what's going on in my body, and I want to be able to breathe comfortably. Basically, what I've come across, the main consensus for people that aren't in the whole aligning chakra realms, just get in a really comfortable seated position. If you're able, make your back straight. Obviously, you can see from the pictures, there's two different ways to do that. There's, I'm sure, more. There's two that are there. And then sit however you're comfortable with your legs. Some people cross them, others don't. I don't. I sit in the chair because I need the back support. And then, that way everything's aligned and you can breathe easily. And make sure that your feet are on the ground. If worse comes to worse, you can use that for grounding because you are literally grounded. So, yeah. And now the benefits of meditation. So, already, one of the benefits is that it reduces pain and enhances the body's immune system. The way I would think that could be applied, I haven't quite experienced that one yet, but I know people who have. And it's basically just envisioning the pain leaving. And I do know that some people have found that to be beneficial. And so it helps them. That's great. Reduces feelings of depression, anxiety, anger, and confusion. Now, depression and anxiety, I can fully say that, yeah, for me that has helped. It's helped reduce my anxiety. It's definitely helped with my depression. Anger and confusion, well, obviously anger, because there's the anger guided meditation, which is actually really good. I recommend it. And then confusion, I don't really know much about that. I can see how it could potentially, just because of some meditations, you make your mind a little more focused. So, it makes sense. Increased blood flow and slows the heart rate. Well, if you think about it, when you're meditating, you're essentially just trying to relax your entire body. So, of course, that's going to lower your heart rate, obviously, and increase your blood flow. So, it makes sense. Provides a sense of calm, peace, and balance. And for me, that is one of the biggest benefits, because before I started meditating, amongst other things, I felt like I was in a constant state of panic, anxiety. It felt like I was walking around having a heart attack all the time. And meditation has helped calm that out. And when I'm meditating, particularly in group settings, I actually feel a sense of being connected to people and connected to everything around me, and just feeling like that my life has a meaning instead of just going through the motions and not thinking anything. So yeah, totally on that. I'm not sure on that one. It could help with heart disease, but that will, it would slow your heart rate, so that makes sense. That it would help in that. And then helps control thoughts. Oh, of course, particularly one thing with me is that there are things that I think about, and when I'm meditating, I'm able to think about them in a different way. And it helps me focus my attention on the important parts of those series of thoughts. So it's really helpful for me. It increases energy. It does. And, that seems kind of counterintuitive, because it's like, okay, you're sitting there for maybe 20 minutes, completely relaxed, maybe eyes closed in a dark lit room, but eventually it does. And personally for me, if I don't meditate in the morning by like 11 o'clock, I feel it. I know that something's off. I just don't feel right. And so I'm like, well, what did I not do? I didn't meditate. Okay, that's probably why. And then reduces stress. Yes. And that ties into provides a sense of calm, peace, and balance. is a great stress reducer, and that's why a majority of mental health professionals will recommend meditation because it's very helpful in reducing your stress and just getting things better organized in your mind. Quite helpful. And the best part, it's free. And it can almost be done anywhere and almost any time. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to go into a meditative state while you're driving. I don't recommend that. And there might be some places where you might have to kick in $1, but if they're a legitimate, in my opinion, meditative group, the money's going to the space that they're renting. They're not in it to make money. So that's, to me, that's the best part. And you can do it on your own, and it takes maybe 10 minutes a day, if that. I do it more than that, but 10 minutes is really all you need. And come on, you can get up 10 minutes early, or, yeah. And that's my work side. So in conclusion, there are various types of meditative practices that you can engage in, and there are clearly benefits to each one, and obviously each different kind of meditation is going to have different benefits associated with it. And the main point that I just want to hammer home for people is that pick the way that works best for you. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. It's whatever comfortable. And all those people that say, "Oh, you have to be in the lotus position or balancing on," I'm like, to me, that's a bunch of hoo-ha. You don't need that. And that is my speech. Thank you all for listening.
Is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 3.